Getting older.
The phrase all new gets bandied about way more than it should in the automotive world. Depending on how lenient an automaker's marketing department is feeling at the time, refreshed fascias and a reshuffling of trim levels might earn a tired vehicle the all-new appellation. That's not what Subaru has done with its reborn Impreza compact. Everything from its wheels to its windows has been completely redesigned for 2017. With one glaring exception, the 2017 Subaru Impreza has benefited immensely from its rebirth. The chassis is stiffer, the steering is better, and the interior is larger than before. Like on most Subarus, standard all-wheel drive remains a key selling point. The only thing that's missing is more power. Subaru has gotten guff over the years for its exterior design, with vehicles being called everything from ugly, Baja, to odd, B9 Tribeca. The 2017 Impreza doesn't fit those descriptions. There's just enough surfacing pressed into its body sides to attract the eye, and the burly flared shoulder fenders add a muscular stance. Dead on, the Impreza's face is a bit too nondescript. If it didn't wear a Subaru badge, you'd be forgiven for mistaking it for a Honda or Toyota, but it's not unattractive. The bug eyes of Impreza's past are now nothing more than a historical footnote. The Impreza is again available as either a sedan or, for $500 more, a hatchback. The trunk of the sedan measures 12.3 cubic feet. Obviously, the hatch offers more utility than the sedan, with 20.8 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats and a maximum of 55.3 cubes with the seats folded. That's more than the VW Golf's 52.7 and way more than the new Honda Civic hatchback's maximum of 46.2. The first thing we noticed from the driver's seat is how easy it is to see out of the 2017 Impreza. Visibility is excellent in every direction, and all that glass means the cabin feels light and airy. Large, easy 3-speedometer and tachometer gauges sit front and center, but the rest of the information needed for the task of driving is spread across 3 different LCD screens. The first sits between the 2 gauges, and the second is atop the center stack. The third screen is the largest, measuring 6.5 inches on base 2.0i models and 8.0 inches in sport and limited trims. Check out the shortcut video below to see these 3 screens in action, and stick around for a look at the interior roominess, the hatchback's rear cargo area, and a walkthrough of the differences that define each trim level. Subaru's latest touchscreen infotainment system comes standard with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. There's a spot below the screen with a tiny near-field communications icon that allows NFC-enabled smartphones to pair easily with the car's electronic brain. We tried it with both an iPhone and a phone running Android, and it worked as expected. While Subaru still isn't at the tippy top of infotainment technology, the system in the 2017 Impreza is the best we've seen from the company. We like the large, clear icons on the home screen, and we're happy to report that the system felt snappy and responsive. Subaru gets a round of applause for including physical buttons and dials for the audio and climate controls. The 2017 Impreza marks the debut of the Subaru Global Platform, which will underpin pretty much everything the automaker builds for the foreseeable future. While the new Impreza is larger in every dimension than the version it replaces, it hasn't grown out of its segment. At 105.1 inches, the Impreza's wheelbase is longer than the Volkswagen Golfs, but an inch shorter than the Honda Civics and Mazda 3s. Total length is 175.6 inches, which is exactly equal to the Mazdas. Width and height similarly measure up with its peers. Headroom, shoulder room, and legroom are all at or near the top of the Impreza's class. In the case of the 2017 Impreza, bigger doesn't mean less nimble. Despite stiffening the chassis and the size increase, the curb weight of 3,034 pounds is about the same as before. The car's center of gravity is 5 mm lower than the last Impreza's, and that pays dividends on the road with a firm but comfortable ride and confident handling. Braking performance is another strong point. with solid pedal feel and plenty of reserve power in normal driving scenarios. The 2017 Impreza's 13:1 steering ratio is much quicker than the last model's 16:1 rack. Even if the number doesn't mean anything to you, know that the Impreza's steering gear now has the same ratio as the BRZ sports cars. You won't confuse the Impreza for a sport coupe or hot hatch, but it feels light on its tires and is one of the best handling vehicles in its class. Unfortunately, the 2017 Impreza is let down by its powertrain. The engine is of course a horizontally opposed boxer 4-cylinder, and it displaces 2.0 liters just like before. In fact, it's a mildly revised version of the previous Impreza engine. Stated horsepower is 152 at 6,000 revolutions per minute, which isn't a lot and feels like less, although it's far more than the 2016 model had. Torque measures out to 148 pound-feet, and it peaks at 4,000 revolutions per minute.